In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis. As we have corrected, we're currently trading just above 57,000. We'll also be discussing crypto veterans call out the Department of Justice for targeting Roger Ver for a decade after he left the U.S. Yeah, that's right. Allegedly $50 million worth of taxes are due, in which he never paid. I'll be breaking this down for you, as well as CZ's 4-month sentence as a general deterrence, according to the lawyer. We'll also be discussing BlackRock's BUIDL becomes the world's largest tokenized treasury fund, as well as here's when the Bitcoin price will tap 500,000 per coin, according to Plan B's stock the flow model. We'll also be discussing the Abra CEO predicts the crypto markets will go to $50 trillion once real world assets become tokenized. We'll be discussing the landscape with a $50 trillion crypto market cap. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this plus so much more in today's show. If you're new to the channel, important to smash the subscribe button to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every day, just like this. Also important to pump the like to help pump the stream, as it helps out tremendously with the YouTube algo. Today is pod episode number 1626. I'm your host, JV, and happy first of the month. It's May 1st. 2024, and the market has been correcting. We tapped 56. We're back in the 56 range right now. At the time of the recording, down $3,400 on the day. So let's kick it off with our market watch, as we do each and every day. So as you can see, Bitcoin in the blood red. We're at 57,000 on coin 360. Ether is at less than 2,900. We also have Solana, Cardano, and AVAX all pulling back, while XRP and Tron are in the green, with DOT up 5% on the day. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, the current crypto market cap sits at 2.13 trillion with 99 billion of volume for the past 24 hours, with the Bitcoin dominance at 52.8% and the Ether dominance at 16.5%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past 24 hours, we have AXL up 8%, followed by Wormhole up 8%, followed by Starknet up 6%. Now, which alts family are you guys most bullish on for this bull run? Let me know in the chat. And checking out the crypto bubbles to get a bit visual perspective. We do have some alts pumping out. However, the majority clearly correcting and in the red, as most alts do follow the king. And checking out on the monthly to get more of a broader perspective, virtually everything Wreck City. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, we're finally back in neutral, rated a 54. Yesterday, 67 greed. Last week, 72. And last month, a 79 in extreme greed. And the reason we always watch this particular metric, the higher this number goes, the more likely of a correction. And lo and behold, it was in the 70 range, and now we're in the 50s and just witnessed a correction. So there you go. How many of you are bullish for this month of May? Do you think we'll return to price discovery, which would be above 73,800? Do you think we continue the sideways correction action? Do you feel we correct even lower? I want to know your thoughts, fam. Holla. But anyways, let's dive into some TA. Considering the carnage here in the crypto streets, headline reads Bitcoin down 20% from all-time highs as Bitcoin price headed to 50 Gs. Let's discuss it. So yeah, Bitcoin fell over 12% on the weekly chart to currently 57,000. We're down 21% compared to the all-time high, which we hit mid-March, according to CoinMarketCap data, as we can see here in the Bitcoin one-day candle chart. The current correction is the deepest retrace of the cycle, according to Rat Capital, who wrote the following. This current retrace is officially the deepest, 23.6%, recently eclipsing the 23% retrace from early 2023. Bitcoin has already eclipsed the deepest retrace in the cycle and is 13 days away from equaling the longest retrace in the cycle as well. The pullback is 48 days long compared to the longest retrace of 63 days during this particular cycle, as outlined here in the one-week chart. Now, similar corrections have occurred during previous Bitcoin rallies. For example, the 2018 bull run, Bitcoin saw 5 corrections of over 30% and an additional 29% correction, according to Bitcoin trader Sister Laura's April 30th post, as outlined right here. You can see all the major corrections: 38, 38, 33, 38, 36, and 29%. Now for the $1 million question, can Bitcoin dip to 50 Gs? in the short term? Well, Bitcoin lost a significant support level of the 59 mark, which also acted as a short-term hodler realized price, or the average inflow price of the spot Bitcoin ETFs. So losing the 69 or 59,000 mark can lead to Bitcoin revisiting 50,000 again, according to this trader, Jag Kuhner, head of derivatives at Bitfinex. Here's what he shared. While price predictions are not appropriate based on these, the short-term hodler RP is a crucial support level for Bitcoin to hold, and on losing it, or the average ETF buyer cost basis, there is a high likelihood that there is a cascade down to the low 50,000s. Now, over 750 million worth of cumulative leveraged long positions would be liquidated across all the exchanges if Bitcoin did fall below 60,000, in which we already did. So yeah, with Bitcoin falling below 60,000 marks days after the debut of the first Bitcoin ETF in Hong Kong, which officially went live. What was that? Yesterday, actually, on the 30th, which amassed 12.4 million in daily trading volume on a first day. The debut of the Hong Kong ETFs general lower than expected trading volumes due to the difficult macroeconomic conditions, according to James Woe, founder and CEO of DFG, quoting him here. These ETFs were launched in different market conditions. US ETFs were launched earlier this year when the market was pricing in around 6 rate cuts in 2024. So given the sticky inflation data, markets are now pricing in only 1 rate cut, which saw crypto prices tumbling recently. So there you go, yo. Do you think we correct down to the 50,000 level, which we're roughly 6,000 away from? Let me know. Let's dive into our next story of the day. Breaking news, Roger Ver was arrested. That's right. Now, crypto veterans call out the DOJ for targeting Roger Ver a decade after he left the United States. Here's the latest. The arrest of early Bitcoin investor and Bitcoin Cash proponent Roger Ver on tax evasion charges in the U.S. has invoked strong reactions from the community. Many within crypto criticized the arrest, with some justifying it is over Ver's adoption of the anti-Bitcoin stance in the latter part of his career. For example, Dan Held, long-term Bitcoin proponent, was amongst the few who lauded Ver's arrest, saying he has been a net negative for Bitcoin. Quoting him here. Breaking. Roger Ver charged with mail fraud, tax evasion, and filing false tax returns, wanted for extradition to the U.S. Department of Justice. That would be the DOJ. Good. He has been a net negative for Bitcoin, says Dan. Now, crypto-centered X-account predator suspected Ver's arrest is related to his name popping up in several investigations, such as those involving Binance, Genesis, and Three Arrows Capital. Numerous crypto vets denounced the U.S. DOJ for pursuing tax evasion charges against Ver in the U.S., despite his renouncing his citizenship back in 2014. That's right. Ver, who has been a Japanese citizen since 2014, was arrested in Spain on April 30th based on criminal charges in the U.S., which include mail fraud, tax evasion, and filing false tax returns. The DOJ notices alleges Ver evaded taxes worth $48 million on his Bitcoin and crypto sales back in 2017. Ver now faces extradition to the U.S. Ver's arrest prompted several crypto veterans to call out U.S. law enforcement agencies for their misuse of power. Social media crypto users quickly pointed out that Ver renounced his U.S. citizenship in 2014, and the tax evasion charges were for selling assets in 2017. Interesting, right? Now, Paul Stork, founder and CEO of Layer 2 Labs, tweeted that Ver did everything according to law when he first legally left the U.S. for Japan. He said Ver paid his taxes in Japan, also paid his taxes in the U.S., and despite 9 years of legally paying his taxes, was arrested in Spain a decade later. He noted the situation is not exactly government via the consent of the governed. And this is the tweet he shared right here. Then we have Kim.com, the crypto vet, who also has been on the receiving end of the government enforcement, said the indictment against Ver has nothing to do with tax evasion, but rather a witch hunt against a man who turned his back on the United States wars and malicious foreign and domestic policy, ultimately saying it was a matrix attack. He added, Roger is a supporter of Julian Assange and press freedom, not just with words, but with actions. Now, we also have Jane Addams, a 2024 candidate for the U.S. House of Reps and a Bitcoin proponent, said that Ver's arrest is a blatant attack on dissent. She added the U.S. government's pursuit against Ver is fueled by vindictiveness as he advocates for press freedom and is against U.S. imperialism. A few others speculated Ver's arrest to be a part of a larger crypto targeting by the U.S. government. For example, David Shares, a Bitcoin proponent, said U.S. is aggressively coming after crypto. So maybe just making examples. You know, CZ just got sentenced with 4 months as well after paying a $4+ billion fine, which is going to be our next story of the day. But before we dive into that, let me know your stance. Do you stand with Roger Ver or do you stand with the DOJ? Let me know. Anyways, let's discuss CZ, shall we? CZ, man, are we living in a simulation? He's been speaking about 4, taking pictures with 4, tweeting about 4. The dude gets 4-month sentence on. This is crazy. Oh, man. Anyways, Binance former CEO CZ, 4-month prison sentence for money laundering appears to be an act of general deterrence, with the judge sending a clear message of compliance to the crypto industry, according to the lawyer, Aaron Lane, quoting him here. General deterrence appears to be the main rationale behind the term of imprisonment, he shared. The judge has sent a message, not to CZ individually, but to the entire industry, that anti-money laundering compliance must be taken seriously. Tell that to Jamie Dimon. Lane says the U.S. was justified in bringing the charges against CZ, who was sentenced on April 30th for failing to maintain an effective anti-money laundering program. While the charges were serious, they were of a regulatory nature and weren't directly comparable to the FTX co-founder, Bankman-Fried's fraud conviction, which landed him 25 years in prison. CZ's 4-month sentence, however, was lower than the 18-month sentencing guideline for his crime and much less than U.S. prosecutors' 3-year jail requests, which Lane said the judge was critical of for being too harsh. Lane explained that even with a plea deal, CZ agreed not to appeal any sentence under 18 months. Judges have broad discretion to arrive at a just sentence. Quoting them again, CZ pleaded guilty, accepted responsibility, and had already paid a high price in resigning as CEO and accepting a $50 million fine. That's on top of the $4.2 billion fine from the DOJ, just FYI. Now, David Chung, founding director of law firm Creo Legal, told Cointelegraph that putting CZ in jail sends a clear signal to the industry that the wild, wild west days of crypto are over. But Chung noted that CZ only pleaded guilty to charges of noncompliance with anti-money laundering regulations, not laundering money or any other crime, quoting them here. A prison sentence may be going too far, and a substantial fine in CZ's resignation may be more appropriate, which is what Binance has already agreed to. Now, CZ actually made an official statement with a tweet we'll get to here shortly for his sentence hearing and thanked his supporters, saying he'll serve his time in jail and stressed the importance of complying with existing laws. Quoting him here, I'm going to read you the whole tweet. I would like to thank everyone for your care and support. Be it writing letters, showing support on X, or any other form, they all mean a lot to me and keep me strong. I will do my time, conclude this phase, and focus on the next chapter of my life, which is education. I will remain a passive investor and holder in crypto. Our industry has entered a new phase. Compliance is super important. A silver lining of the whole process is that Binance has been under the microscope and funds are SAFU, protect the users. So there's his final words, family. Now, how I translate all of this, basically, CZ has a 4-month sentence. Maybe he serves a few weeks in prison, in my opinion. He does a lot of push-ups. He comes out looking even buffer, and he is still one of the richest people on the planet. Some speculate his net worth anywhere from $30 to $60 billion. So what's a few weeks in jail? Bigger picture. I mean, not the end of the world. But yeah, he didn't steal from anybody. He didn't do what Bankman-Fried did. He didn't steal all the investors' money and then gamble it. He just got caught up with a very unclear regulatory body and I guess deciphered the regulations in his own accord, backfired. But again, slap on the wrist at the end of the day. Could have been a lot worse. Imagine they gave him a 25-year sentence, which he didn't deserve, right? So it is what it is. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your feedbacks. Anyways, next story of the day. Here's the latest with BlackRock. BlackRock's BUIDL becomes the world's largest tokenized treasury fund. That's right. The BlackRock USD Institutional Digital Liquidity Fund is now the largest treasury fund tokenized on the blockchain after it surpassed Franklin Templeton's product this week. BlackRock's 6-week-old product, tickered BUIDL, has notched a market cap of $375 million, surpassing the 12-month-old Franklin On-Chain U.S. government money fund, which sits at $368 million, according to Dune Analytics. It comes as BUIDL took in $70 million in the last week, including $50 million from real-world asset tokenization firm Ondo Finance. Meanwhile, Benji's assets under management shrunk around 3.7% over the same time frame as outlined here by Tom Wan. BlackRock's BUIDL has surpassed Franklin Templeton in assets under management, becoming the largest on-chain money market fund. So yeah, more than $1.2 billion worth of US treasuries now exist across Ethereum, Polygon, Solana, and the other blockchains. Blockchain-based tokenization of real-world assets has become a hot topic lately, with BlackRock CEO Larry Fink recently voicing that capital markets could be made more efficient by moving on-chain. Treasuries are only one piece of the pie. Stocks, real estate, and many other assets can also be tokenized. However, investor demand for these tokenized products is low at the moment, according to 21.co research strategist Tom Wan, citing thin liquidity as one of the primary reasons. This creates a chicken and the egg problem, as issuers are struggling to see a clear benefit in tokenizing assets on-chain with low demand, which leads me to the million-dollar question: which came first, the chicken or the egg? Let me know in the live chat. The good news is that demand for U.S. treasuries already exists from industry players in the $140 billion stablecoin market. Good Lord. Therefore, it'll be easier to find end investors to switch over when demand picks up. Tokenized government securities currently account for 1.4% of the total assets tokenized on chain, up from 0.1% at the start of 2023. However, Juan predicts this market dominance will increase to 10% in the future. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that. And as Boston Consulting Group estimates, blockchain-based tokenization will become a $16 trillion market by 2030 as they continue to tokenize the world. So there you go, fam. Anyways, fam, let's discuss the latest from Stock to Flow model creator Plan B and his model, and then we'll dive into this 50 trillion market cap prediction, followed by some live Q&A. Yeah, here we go. Bitcoin had a rough start in May thus far, as its upward trajectory appears to have reached its peak after the bullish quarter. However, the silver lining, Plan B predicts the average price of the world's largest crypto can reach $500,000 per Bitcoin from 2024 to 2028, according to the Stock to Flow. In his latest analysis, Plan B stated the Bitcoin's performance in April revealed a closing price of $60,632, marking the end of the previous halving cycle. This closing price essentially indicates the completion of a cycle. That's right. Despite falling slightly below the Stock to Flow model's prediction of 55 Gs, the average price over the 2020-2024 halving cycle stands at 34,000. His analysis of May signals the start of the new countdown to the next halving. Quoting him here from X, Bitcoin's April closing price, 60,600. This was the last blue dot, month zero, as you can see in the chart. Average price 2020-2024 halving cycle, 34,000, slightly below Stock to Flow 2019, 55,000 prediction. May will be the first red dot, the start of the new countdown to the next halving. Stock to Flow 2024-2028 with a prediction of $500,000 per coin. Send 15 red dots, please. Let's go. Now, the analysis on the Stock to Flow model predicts 500,000 for the 2024-2028 period. However, Bitcoin's recent price action tells a different story, as it hit multi-month lows today, May 1st, dropping to 56,500, the lowest since February. Now, with Bitcoin recording its worst month since November 2022, Bitcoin struggled to recover, currently sitting at 56,500 after a 7% drop over the past day. These recent losses extend to nearly 20% for the month. Now let's discuss a warning before the fall. Bitcoin's latest plunge was already predicted by QCP Capital, which stated that the market was gearing up for volatile trading session, citing several of the key indicators. The launch of the Hong Kong spot Bitcoin and Ether ETFs for one, with volumes far below expectations at 8.5 million for Bitcoin and 2.5 million for Ether, signaled a disappointing start. Also, the crypto hedge fund noted that this could suggest institutional interest in crypto may be more concentrated in the United States, while Asian interest leans towards private wealth and local dominance. Additionally, the Amazon earnings with the sentencing of CZ due that evening, the stage was set for heightened volatility, and as we know, CZ just got sentenced to 4 months in prison. And even Roger Ver just got picked up on $48 million owed in taxes for tax evasion. Quoting the hedge fund here, the market is trading heavy on the back of this, with Bitcoin touching 61,000 and ETH close to 3 Gs. With Amazon earnings and CZ sentencing coming out this evening, we might be looking at a volatile session into the New York hours. So there you have it. Let me know your thoughts on this 500,000 price prediction as the silver lining between 2024 2028, being we're already post Bitcoin halving 2024, which we had roughly 12 days ago. Holla at your boy. Let me know before we dive into our feature story of the day. Now for our feature story of the day, let's discuss a crypto market cap of $50 trillion. And where would that likely take the Bitcoin price action? Let's break this down. The headline reads, the Abra CEO predicts crypto markets go to 50 trillion market cap once real world assets become tokenized. And we're already talking about the tokenization of the world via BlackRock. So let's break this down. The Abra co-founder and CEO Bill Barhydt is predicting a 50 trillion digital asset market cap within a decade due to one main catalyst. In the interview with Pompliano, the head of the crypto wealth management platform says that the tokenization of real-world assets has the potential to send the crypto market cap soaring by more than 1,900% of the current value. Quoting him here, I do think you're going to see real-world assets become tokenized, especially starting outside the United States. You're going to have all of these investment services that basically make them all fungible, meaning I can hold real estate, I can hold stocks, I can hold bonds, I can hold native crypto, and they are all fungible because they are all tokens I can trade across each other or borrow against. I can pool real estate, Bitcoin, and stocks and take one loan because it's a separately managed account and it has a value. So how is it going to break down in terms of native crypto holdings versus stocks and real estate? I don't know. I think we're just in the still very, very beginning of the global investment community getting exposure to the native crypto stuff, Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, etc. And so what is it now? 2.5 trillion. I think that's going to go to 50 trillion over the next 10 years, if not sooner. And that is going to change everything because now you're going to have these credit markets that just weren't possible before. Barhydt believes that the growth will revolutionize the credit markets, enabling access to credit for individuals in developing countries like the Philippines and India. Let me know if you agree or disagree with his prediction that the crypto market cap will likely see 50 trillion incoming. And as I pointed out earlier, I mean, the BlackRock headline here, BlackRock's BUIDL becomes the world's largest tokenized treasury fund. In the future, virtually everything may be tokenized. The tokenization of all assets, real estate, total addressable market, 300 trillion, gold, 15 trillion, right? Market cap. And what's going to happen when Bitcoin overtakes the market cap of that, of gold and precious metals in general? Game on. Let's go. The Bitcoin market cap is very modest, 1.2 trillion right now. Total collective crypto market is roughly 2.5 trillion. So what happens when we 25x from here in market cap? Will the price 25x? I can see it. I believe in my personal lifetime, I'm 41 years old, just FYI, 41 years young. I believe Bitcoin will do another 100x in my lifetime. And it has the potential to do another 1000x in my lifetime. So some of you are looking at the Bitcoin price right now like, yo, why couldn't I got in when it was 5,000? Well, that's what every investor will say, including Peter Schiff. He even admits it now. He wished he got into Bitcoin a long time ago. That's everyone in the world who missed the boat. But here's the thing. You may have missed the boat, but you have an opportunity to hop on the life raft, right? And get some biddies for your own protection. Bitcoin serving as a hedge against corrupt governments. Who needs that? Who needs a hedge against corrupt governments in a time where virtually every single government minus Nayib Bukele of El Salvador is corrupt? You guys see the video where he gets all the heads of his cabinet together in the same room and he tells the attorney general to investigate everybody because he says, clearly, I'm not corrupt, but it would be a shame if one of you mofos destroyed my legacy by being corrupt. So therefore, Attorney General, I want you to investigate every single person here, a part of our party. Whoa, that's deep. That's something you don't see any president ever say. And that's why I have tremendous respect to the people in El Salvador and their fearless leader, Nayib Bukele, who said F you to the IMF. He was unwilling to sell out their country and sell out his people. That's a rarity. That's like a 1 in a 6 billion type of trait. You know what I mean? That's why I have tremendous respect for El Salvador. But back to my point, Bitcoin is the life raft. It's the hedge against these corrupt mofos. It's the hedge against inflation. It's a hedge against deflation. It's the perfect insurance policy. It's a flight to safety. It's a flight to quality. It's immutable. It's the only money you can trust, right? It's perfect money. It's pristine collateral and everything in between. Yeah, it's unconfiscatable. That alone, to me, makes it priceless because I understand corruption. I understand the more wealthy you become, the more influential you become, the more likely to lock you up and put you in jail like we just witnessed with Roger Ver, who denounced his citizenship 10 years ago. What did we just see happen to CZ? Is it possible to be rich in crypto and not get arrested? I'm starting to wonder. Makes you really wonder, right? Who's the real public enemy of the United States government? In my opinion, it's clear. It's the only asset that separates the money from the state, separating state from the money. It's Bitcoin, right? And Bitcoin proponents and people who understand the corruption of the government, right? They want to make an example out of you. That's what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing in crypto right now. They're going after anyone and everyone. It don't matter if it's unlawful. It don't matter if they're overreaching. It don't matter if they don't provide clarity. They're coming after you. Why? Because they recognize Bitcoin is the #1 enemy of thy state. The only reason we got the ETF approved, it forced the hands of the SEC with the lawsuit versus Grayscale. Why did you approve, SEC? Why did you approve all of the futures ETFs and continuously been denying spot ETFs for 1 decade? Why? Because we're corrupt mofos. And so they could no longer play that card. They were forced into approving the ETFs. And now they're creating rules where you can't use the ETF as the Bitcoin and the ETF, you can't even use as collateral anymore as an investor. All I can say is trust nobody, verify everything, and be smart and be safe. Learn the lessons that are in front of us from all these other individuals going through the ringer and going through hell. You know what I mean? And lesson learned. Lesson learned. But where do you feel Bitcoin is likely to go? Can you see Bitcoin soaring to a 50 trillion market cap alone by itself? Because probably by the time the Bitcoin market cap is 50 trillion, I think crypto market cap will be like 80 trillion, 75 trillion. Because I think the market dominance of Bitcoin will probably be between 60 to 70%. I'm just guessing. I'm just speculating out loud. I don't have a magic 8 ball I can just look at and forecast the future. But one thing is for sure, the US dollar purchasing power is guaranteed to decrease as it has been since the inception of Bitcoin, since the inception of fiat currency. Shout out Eldorena, greatly appreciate the super and the Bitcoin orange, especially love and respect. The other thing I can guarantee you, the purchasing power of Bitcoin is mathematically guaranteed to increase your purchasing power. So save in Bitcoin, remove your money out of the banks, go to JP Morgan Chase, tell their CEO, F you, I want all my money, take it out. Only keep it in the bank where you can afford to lose. If you can borrow money against the corrupt mofos, which are our oppressors, which are the central banking cartels, which are represented by the banks like JP Morgan Chase, borrow as much money as you can from them. Launch a speculative attack. That's what Mike Saylor did, right? Borrow as much as you can at the lowest rate you can, buy Bitcoin, and take that. How do you like those apples?
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay, what's the second best? There is no second best.
I'm not saying I'm number one. I'm sorry, I lied. I'm number 1, 2, 3, 4, and